Michael, when you're trying to focus on cricket and cricket only, to have such controversy off the field, as we've heard from some leaked documents from Mickey Arthur's case, how distracting and frustrating, and how can you move on when that's all going on in the background?
It's not distracting at all, to be honest, to me and to the team. Our focus is, as I said yesterday, our focus is very clear. 24 hours from now, we'll be playing the second test match. For a lot of the guys, they haven't experienced a test match at Lords, so they're extremely excited. We can't wait for tomorrow, to be honest.
Can you just nip in the bud the issue over your relationship with Shane, because the word cancerous has been used, and it's an ugly word, but can you just...
I've spoken a lot in the past about my relationship with Shane, and so is Shane, so I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go backwards. For us and this team right now, it's about looking forward. Again, I said yesterday, it's great to have Darren Lehmann on board. He's been outstanding in galvanising this team and bringing us together. I think we showed all of the media and the public that over the past 5 days playing in Nottingham, and we'd like to continue to show that in this second test match at Lords. So our focus is making sure we're as well prepared as we can be in regards to training today, and then get out there and enjoy this second test match.
Michael, what do you think behind Australia's great record at Lords, and do you think it's relevant for this test?
I'll definitely say it's relevant. It feels like a home ground, I guess, for us. Look, I think every single team that has the opportunity to play on this fantastic ground really looks forward to it. And I'm sure England are no different. I'm sure they enjoy playing here at every opportunity. I don't know the main reason as to why Australia has had so much success on this beautiful oval, but I think it's something we should be very proud of. And hopefully it's a tradition we'll continue to fulfil, I guess. It's a beautiful ground that we're very lucky to have this opportunity to play here. In every test series I've played in the UK, there's been a test match at Lords, and that's something you certainly write into the diary when you find out when the Ashes series is on. The first thing you do is put in the Lords test. So for a lot of guys that haven't experienced it, like I said, they're looking forward to it.
Way down there in the 30th row, Mary.
Michael, just briefly back to the other thing. Are you disappointed in the first place that about the document coming out, about claims about coming out? How do you personally feel about this coming out at this stage?
Yeah, look, like I said, it's important for me to keep my eyes on the field. We as a team know we have a really important job to do in this test match and for the rest of this series. So, none of this will be a distraction to me personally, and it certainly won't be to the team. I'm focused on making sure I'm scoring runs firstly, but we need to win this second test match, so I'm looking forward to that.
So, Michael, when there are issues like this and controversies kicking around, what's your style as a captain? Are you sort of really type bloke, or will you too?
Well, for the team, like I say, it's been fine in regards to our attitude. Our commitment to training was fantastic yesterday. The boys trained really hard. Today will be no different, so nothing changes for us. We're very focused on what's in front of us, and that's turning up tomorrow as well prepared as we can be, and trying to have success in this second test.
Michael, has it perhaps galvanised the side, trying to get yourself focused and putting all that out of your mind?
Like I said, I think Darren Lehmann coming in has certainly played a part in galvanising the team. The feeling in the camp at the moment is exceptional. I've said that for a while now. I think the guys are in a really good place and full of confidence. I think we've seen that throughout stages in the first test match as well. We know we have a job to do. We have to continue to play our best cricket to have success over in England, and that's our job.
Michael, is there a possibility that coming so close at Trent Bridge is in fact going to undermine your challenge at Lords?
I hope not. I don't think so. I think if anything, it should inspire us to go one better. I think at the end of the day, we were so close, but yet you don't get the result you want. So as a team, there's no better feeling in any sport than winning. And like I say, I think for a team that had just lost the test match, we've taken the positives from that. The feeling around the camp has been outstanding, and I think everybody in that change room now just wants to go one further and get over the line and win this second test.
No feeling that having got so close, that might be it for you?
Not at all. I think complete opposite. Because you get so close, it gives you that little bit of extra inspiration, knowing that you are so close. If we can find a couple of areas of our game to improve, we feel we can get a win in this second test.
Right.
My question was leads on from that. It was what are those improvements you're looking for to get your test aligned? What having reflected on that last match?
I'll tell you after the test match. I think I'd be silly to let you know the areas that we're looking to improve. Yeah, I think hopefully you'll see them. Hopefully we'll be able to put those on show over the next 5 days.
Ollie?
What are you expecting the conditions you face over the next 5 days, especially for the hot weather, and how will that shape your team?
I haven't seen the wicket today. I just walked past the pitch then and the covers are on, so I'll have a look at the pitch today, but until then I don't really know, Chloe, to be honest. Obviously it's going to be nice and warm, which reminds me of home.
Tim?
Michael, what are your team considerations? There's been a bit of talk about the number 3 spot with Ed Cowan and Usman Khawaja's in your squad. What are you thinking? Are you tempted to change your team?
At this stage I haven't got an 11 from the selectors. I think they wanted to look at conditions today, see what the pitch was like today, and then pick the team later on this evening. So I'm not really sure what they're thinking, to be honest.
Dan?
I was wanted to ask you about your innings here in 2009. You said quite often that it was one of your better ones. What do you remember most about that innings and what you did well?
I remember losing the test match. Yeah, look, I don't remember too much of it, to be honest. I remember not making any runs in the first innings and I needed a score in the second innings, so it was nice to contribute. But at the end of the day, like I said, the reason you play is to have success as a team and to win, and unfortunately we didn't win that test match. So if I get an opportunity and I can get a start, hopefully I can go on and make a bigger score.
Dan?
Michael, have you leant on Chris Rogers, or will you lean on Chris Rogers a little more than usual, considering this is his home ground in the county scene?
Yeah, look, I've spoken to a lot of the guys that have spent plenty of time in the UK, and obviously Chris about the conditions here at Lords. We've got a handful of guys that have experienced playing Test cricket on this oval. We had Glenn McGrath around the group over the past couple of days who also spoke of his experiences. So we're very lucky to have a lot of local knowledge in regards to either past players. Steve Wall was around the change room yesterday as well. I think Shane Warne's going to come in this afternoon. And obviously the guys in the group that have played. So yeah, I'll continue to use, and get as much knowledge as I can from the people that have experienced these conditions.
When you say Darren Lehmann's helped to galvanise the team, what's he actually done to kind of help harmony and can you just say a little bit about his coaching style?
I think it's more Darren's personality. I said the same when he took over the coaching role, that as a player he was a leader in our group. When I was a young player coming into the Australian team, he was a leader in the group without being vice captain or captain. He still had that amount of respect. Players just respected him because he was a great fella. He played it very hard on the field, but enjoyed his cricket as well, and still loves a cold beer. Nothing's changed there. So, I think he has us playing the style of cricket that we love playing, the Australian brand, the Australian way, good aggressive cricket. We're going to try and win on in any, I guess, opportunity. We're gonna try and win the test match, and sometimes you're gonna lose. You're gonna get losses out of that. But I really enjoyed playing with Darren as a young player, and I'm really enjoying, I guess, being captain underneath him as our head coach. And I think a lot of the guys have seen, or that didn't get to experience him as a player, have seen why so many of the ex-players loved him as a player and think he'll be a great coach.
Down the back.
Michael, some good laughs last night at the High Commission. The team were looking really relaxed. Historically, Lords has been very kind to Australia. Is there a confidence in the Australian dressing room going into this second test that we can level the score?
Oh, there's no doubt. Every time we walk out into the ground, we want to win. But we know it's going to take a lot of hard work, 5 days of hard work like it was in the first test. We know England will come out probably better than they did in Nottingham for the getting the one test under their belt. They know the conditions very well, but yeah, look, the feeling around the group is a great feeling. A couple of light-hearted jokes last night at the High Commissioner's function, and I think the boys had a really good night.
Michael, there's been some suggestion that your average at 5 is, well, the fact is your average at 5 is far superior than your average at 4.
Wonder where that's come from, Mal. I know it's true.
Obviously you've got to wait for the 11 to be presented to you, but you get to decide the batting order.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe there is a case for you dropping down because you're being exposed a bit too quickly too often?
like I've said in the past, I think when I've had my most success at number 5, I've been into bat when we've been 3 for 20 or 3 for 30. So I don't know if it's the time that when you walk out to bat. To me personally, the number makes no difference whether I bat 4, bat 5, bat 7, and I've said that a lot. So I'll wait until the selectors give me the team. I'll certainly speak to Darren about what we think the best batting order is for these conditions and for the 11 players we have. And we'll go from there.
So I mean, it's undecided.
Well, I think every game's undecided. I think, if I speak to the coach and we think it's best for the team for me to bat at number 7, then I'll bat at number 7. If we think it's best for me to open, then I'll open the batting. So I don't think, that conversation in regards to the batting order happens consistently before every test match.
Wayne, Michael, you've been captain now for about 2 years. When you look back on those 2 years, what are you proudest of in terms of how the side's developed?
Didn't expect that question.
It's a timeless question, but it's been the right timeless stories.
Okay. I don't really know, to be honest. Right now, I probably haven't had an opportunity to stop and look. I couldn't be prouder of the boys' attitudes at the moment. I think the way we are working as a group, the time and effort guys are putting into training to try and become better, that was probably one of the main philosophies for me taking over as captain. Is I wanted guys to understand that every day you get out of bed, you got to be trying to get better, and I can't fault their attitude. I think every single one of the guys is trying to do that. Something that I'm extremely proud of, and I know Darren Lehmann is a big fan of it as well, is bringing past players back in and around the group. I think there's been a stage in the Australian cricket team where we might have forgotten a little bit about why we do sit where we sit and how lucky we are to play this great game and travel the world and fly business class and stay at fantastic hotels. And it's certainly not because of what we have done as a team. It's because of the people that have come before us. So I think by allowing to have these guys back around training and back into the group the players have enjoyed it. I know a lot of the guys really enjoyed talking to Glenn McGrath over a couple of beers the other night, and Warnie spent a fair bit of time around the group. So that's something I'm really proud of. I've always been extremely proud of the history of the game, and I hope when my time's done and I walk away from the game that the next generation is just as proud.
Last two, Mary, then Chloe.
Do you expect the final line-up to be on the toss of the coin?
Sorry, I do not know where that's coming from.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you expect again the final line-up having to be on the toss of the coin? Have you got any more rabbits to pull out of the hat?
I don't think we have any more rabbits to pull out of the hat, no. And I would imagine, the team will be announced at the toss. I can't imagine the players finding out the team until later tonight, if not tomorrow morning. I think conditions normally dictate that as well. I think the selectors will look at the wicket now, but they might even want to wait until tomorrow morning to see if the pitch changes overnight.
Chloe?
Just what you were saying about, rediscovering kind of why you play the game and that sort of stuff. Was having someone like Ashton around been quite refreshing in that respect, that he's sort of come in and has been very unaffected and he's a kid just sort of playing as if he's playing for his club in some ways. Is that rubbed off on other guys on the side?
I think having him around and playing the way he played the other day was fantastic for it, there's no doubt about it. I think the most important thing to me about a successful team is the good mix of youth and experience. And the reason I say that is because when I was lucky enough to make my debut, whether it be in one-day cricket or test cricket for Australia, we certainly had a lot of experience around. So, and those guys allowed me to be who I am as a person. They allowed me to voice my opinion. They allowed me to play the brand of cricket that I like to play. But they just moulded me. They helped me improve. So, what I really like about this team is we have that mix. We have plenty of experience, and I think you've seen that with the veteran in Brad Haddon the other day, the innings he played, and then the youth also of Ashton Agar and even Phillip Hughes, the way they went about their work. So, that's probably one of the most pleasing things about this group that we have right now. And I do believe it's playing a huge role in the galvanising of this team. I think the senior players are standing up and leading by example and helping the young players out. And, that certainly makes life a lot easier for for the captain, but also for the coach and the support staff as well.